Hello and welcome to day 16. Yesterday we talked about how goals don't really mean anything and they're kind of counterproductive. Yet milestones are very, very productive and can help you achieve all kinds of cool stuff. Today we get to talk about how you can improve the way that you look at what you've done in the past. Because unless you can feel good about what you did in the past, you're just going to be miserable about what you're trying to do in the present, and you're going to get discouraged. And you don't want to get rich when you're discouraged, because if you remember, money is an amplifier, and it's just going to amplify all of that discouragement that you feel. The way that I make sure that I remember my past successes is by writing them down as they happen. So I keep a business journal, and every single day I write down about what I did and what kind of triumphs happened during the day and what kind of challenges that I overcame during the day. It's really, really important, and it works. If you're not ready for like a business journal or anything, I encourage you to write your milestones down. Somebody once told me that millionaires write down their goals once a day and billionaires write down their goal twice a day. I have to admit that I am not yet disciplined enough to write down my goals twice a day. But I do write them down once a day, and I find that there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The wrong way is the way that most people do it, which is that they try to memorize a certain phrase or a certain sentence and they just write it down repeatedly, thinking that somehow writing it down is going to make them get it. And it doesn't really work, because eventually it gets to be boring and a chore. And when you think of your dream as being boring and a chore, your subconscious really doesn't work hard at all on achieving it, because you don't want it. It's boring. It's a chore. So rather than just trying to write down the exact same thing until I get it, what I do is I write down the milestones as I achieve them. And here's the big thing. If I forget about one of them, I don't stress. If I have 3 goals and I just write down 2 of them and I can't remember for the life of me what the third one is, I don't go back and read it and then write it down. I just sort of let it slide. Because if it's not important enough for me to remember it, it's not important enough for me to work toward it. It's not important enough for me to measure how I'm getting there. Because like everybody else on this planet, my life is evolving over time as my preferences change, as my life experience gets more rich and more fulfilling. I too, there are many things that I used to want that I no longer want because I'm a different person. Nevertheless, moving toward those things has really seriously enriched my life in ways that I never could have imagined. For example, my desire for freedom has caused me to travel all over Central America with just a backpack. And I've gotten so many valuable lessons out of that. And yet, my desire for world travel kind of fizzled out. I was like, for many years, I wanted to be a world traveler. Then I traveled Central America. I got my travel fix, and I don't really want to be a world traveler anymore. I have to say the bug is starting to kick in again, but for the past few years, I just haven't desired to. And that's okay. It's okay to give up on your milestones. People think that when you give up on your goals that it shows that you have a lack of conviction or that you're weak-willed. And your ego uses this as ammunition to tell you how terrible you are, which causes you to not want to try again. Whereas if you just look at it from the point of view of, oh, I'm not pursuing that thing anymore. I must have lost interest in it because I am now more interested in something else. Then you give yourself a lot of really positive thoughts and feelings instead of negative ones. So maybe your desire for one thing led into your desire for another, and you never would have known that you liked thing number 2 unless you had tried and decided not to pursue thing number 1. It's okay for your milestones to evolve. So today, what I'd like you to do in the comments is just write down, shoot, the heck was I talking about? I totally forgot. That's the fun of beta, because you get to have weird bloopers like this. Yeah, I'm gonna look at my notes. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm talking about writing down your achievements as you do them, because you'll be able to go back and look at them later, and it will provide positive evidence that you do get what you go for, and that you actually are being able to move toward the things that you want. There, I said it. I totally can't believe I spaced that. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and yeah, I am totally going to post this video even with all that craziness. Talk to you later.